What's up, guys? I'm Cole.
Matt.
And we're back with another WWE movie review, this time on 12 Rounds 2 Reloaded with WWE superstar Randy Orton.
So, for your first time seeing this movie, what'd you think?
I liked it. I did. I liked it a lot. This is your second or third?
Third.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so this is your third. This is my first time seeing. As a first-time viewer, I really enjoyed it. In fact, I'm going to go on record right now and say this is my favorite. This actually outbeats the John Cena one for me.
It was more of a game, this one. Like, Cena's was a game.
Dean Ambrose's was not a game at all.
No.
Cena's was a game, but this really took game to the next level of, like, this is a game.
Yeah, because he even said it. He was like, you want to play a game? It's got 12
Yeah,
rounds.
this is, I mean, so did, what's his face, Miles in 12 rounds. It's like, we're going to play a game, you know, but this was game to its purest definition, you know?
It's like you roll a dice. Your turn.
Randy Orton plays an EMT who witnesses a car crash, and he's by himself with his wife, so he's trying to rescue everyone from both cars, but what ends up happening is he doesn't have enough time to rescue this one woman, so she ends up dying. And of course a year passes, and now this guy is, you know, drew him in to play this game. I mean, what you did find out in this one was it was more a game in the sense of, he actually said, go here, there's a clue. That clue will lead you to your next one. You know what I mean? That clue will lead you to the next one. So it really was a non-stop game, you know?
So you find out, like, the first thing is they find this guy in the parking lot who's hurt and stuff, so they take him in.
Yeah, well, they get a call as an ambulance, they get a call.
And they pull this guy into the ambulance, they start working on him, and he's got something in his stomach, and the stitches show a 1, which you pointed out to me. I've seen this movie 3 times. And I
can't believe you never noticed that.
I've seen this movie 3 times and never noticed the whole thing with the clues like that.
Really?
All the rounds that he has.
Well, we're gonna get to that, but yes. So this,
I've never noticed.
And
that
I'm just surprised, as like the writers of the story, or you know, being his character, you don't notice that he has a 1 stitch on his stomach. Like, how do you not notice that you're looking at it? You know, like as the writers, they never drew light to that as a point.
Like, never noticed that at all. So he gets the phone call. He picks up, and it's the guy. What's his name? Oh, sure.
Oh my God, they give him a name? I was so into the movie, I didn't even catch like him having a name.
So he calls and he's like, this is round 1. Tells him, you don't remember me, such and such, like that. And his partner is trying to save this guy's life. And then you find out there's a bomb in the guy's chest. And he arms it.
Right.
Turns around, tells his partner to get out. The partner goes, what? Which was dumb. Like, he just sticks his head out, huh?
Because he wasn't even, he didn't have anything covering his ears, he wasn't in a loud environment, and Randy Orton wasn't that far away. If he says, get out,
just get
what?
Out.
No, you heard him.
And then, what do you know?
But he got him out
enough where
he didn't die, but he did get burned. But you never see him again.
So let's just go, he died.
But they did do that, which I really enjoyed in this movie, was the rounds were more symbolic. It was all symbolic, because in the one with John Cena, whenever, you know, I felt like...
I'm sorry, I have a staple in my pants.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? The rounds were a lot more symbolic. And the one with John Cena, I felt like it was more... It was whenever Miles said so. You know? Yeah. Like, I even had a hard time, as a viewer, keeping track of where rounds ended and where they began, unless Miles said so. You know? He's like, oh, round 3, what was his name? Danny?
Yeah.
Danny. He's like, round 3, Danny. Oh, that round just ended. Well, your round started 5 minutes ago. And it was like, oh, okay. Well, he just completely... You know, distinguishes when the round started.
Like this had a time limit.
In this one, despite just the time limit, everything was symbolic. There was the stitching of the 1. When he was in the parking lot, it said open 2 hours. Obviously, it was supposed to say 24 hours, but it said just open 2 hours. So that signified round 2. When he found the book of matches, there were only 3 matches left. That's round 3. You know, and it just continued like that, and everything had a point, all the way up until round 11 even, because when he handed the 2 bottles, the 2 bottles were 1 and 1, you know, and that made round 11. So everything was very symbolic in this movie.
As it goes on, you find out that everything, who he killed, who was involved was all into one big story.
And where Miles in the first one, it was all actually just kind of like a distraction and a setup for his own personal heist. This had nothing to do with anything like that.
This guy was just out to get revenge.
Yeah, this guy was just out to get revenge in his own form of justice as he saw it.
Yeah, because the guy who wound up starting the car crash at the beginning
which killed his wife.
Was the governor's son. So he took the governor's father halfway into the movie, kidnapped him, you find out. And his whole thing was the lawyer was involved.
The judge.
The governor. The governor, him. You find out, and since Randy Orton was at the right place at the right time, he got involved.
Yeah. Which, I mean, the movie was, in my opinion, it was fantastic. The story, in my opinion, was better than the first one, because if you remember in the first one, he blamed John Cena for killing his girlfriend. When he said, run, the girl moves into the street, gets blasted by a car. So, in fact, he was the one who killed her, you know, who led to her death. In this one, this guy was truly innocent, you know? He was truly, truly innocent, where he was just driving with his wife, this guy hits him, and then the wife isn't able to be saved, you know?
Which still ends up being his fault.
He was really a victim. That is actually the one thing that bothered me, was that
it should have nothing to do with him.
It's not like the guy was unconscious where he didn't know what was happening. He saw the whole thing. He saw Randy Orton trying to save his wife. What bothered him was the fact that he saved
the guy who killed him.
Who ended up being like the murderer. He saved him, but wasn't able to save his wife. But not for his lack of trying, you know? So that was the one thing I was like, nah.
I think maybe that's why he gave him, like, leeway with stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he was a very,
laid back.
He was a very nice psychopath. Like, he was like, well, you've been a good sport here, so I'll do you a favor, you know? And he cut the guy's the ankle bracelet.
I could do more, I think maybe a little more with the ending.
Like, than him just trying to kill himself?
Yeah, like, at the end, at the end, it ends with Randy Orton and his wife trapped in the backseat of the car with the guy. And he's like, it's going to end where it started.
Yeah.
So he's driving, the whole idea was to kill all three of them.
Yes.
Ends up happening, Orton gets himself free, gets his wife free, and the guy just blows up and dies. And that's just the end of the movie, basically.
Yeah.
You see Orton and his wife with the ambulance, they kiss and roll credits. I think they could have did a little more.
I think they could have done a little better with Randy Orton's escape from the car. Because the fact that he just shoots 2 bullets into each side of the trunk, and somehow that makes the door just fly off.
And then shot the seat too.
And the seat rolled up. What? What are we talking about here? Is this like a James Bond car with a certain triggers that shoot doors off?
Let me pull this lever.
Like, what was that all about? The escape, I felt it was a little, we just need to get them out of the car. Let's just get them out of the car and that's it, you know? What I did like, because I felt like if they had pushed it any further, it would have been a problem, was the police involvement.
Yeah.
You know, at first he was on his own, running on his own, but once he kidnapped the governor's son, unintentionally, not knowing that it was the governor's son, but whenever he took the kid, and then the bracelet went off, and then the second the cops got involved, I was like, this movie's going to get really, like, bogged down, in my opinion, if they continue to keep the police involved, and if it just becomes a continuous cat and mouse game of the cops going after Randy Orton and Randy Orton going after this guy's rounds, it's going to get very bogged down with bullshit. What I liked about it is practically, as soon as the cops got involved, the cops were off of him, because the lieutenant, captain, whoever the woman was involved, she ended up hearing Randy Orton out and ended up believing him, and the guy ended up calling Randy Orton in the middle of them talking, so she had the proof right in front of her.
Yes.
And then she ended up saying, you know, just continue going with his rounds, I'll handle it. You know, we'll try to stop him on this end, you keep playing his game.
Yeah.
So that I really liked, because I was like, the second they got involved, I was like, this could be a problem. In my eyes, I was like, this could be a problem. But then after that happened, I was like, good. They did it right, you know? Because there are a lot of movies where
once the cops are involved, it
feels like a different movie to me, in my opinion. In something like this, once the cops get involved or there's a twist like that, it ends up turning, to me, into like a different movie. And you end up having 2 movies going on at the same time, because it's...
Now you're looking at the cops chase down.
Exactly. Like, let's say the cops did stay involved, you was watching a movie of Randy Orton with this guy in his rounds, and the cops with Randy Orton. So I'm happy that they got rid of them just as fast as they came in. You know, it was a point in the story, they needed it for a certain situation.
And they got rid of it.
And then they got rid of it, and that really made me happy watching this movie. Like, good. You did good. Alright, so if you want, we can just go on to like our final grades.
Well, of course. I've seen this movie 3 times, so you know I have a good grade for it. Give it an A.
Okay.
Plus.
Ah, you son of a bitch! I'm gonna give it an A plus too. This movie is an A fucking plus. Good job, Randy. Tickle your chin.
Did he have the scar like that in the whole movie?
I'm sure at certain points he has.
Sure.
And now he's looking at you guys. So make sure you give it a good grade.
He's telling you to watch it.
Yeah. Watch this movie, definitely. And honestly, because the 12 rounds aren't all continuous, you don't have to... They're all separate installments. Watch this one. If you've never seen any 12 rounds, just watch this one then. This is a fantastic, fantastic movie. I don't know what happened with the third one then.
They just went all over the place.
They tried to change up the story of being 12 rounds and
actually 12 rounds.
To me, it kind of fell short. It failed. But this movie's fantastic. Definitely give it a watch. It's worth your time. Absolutely. So that's our WWE movie review on 12 Rounds 2 Reloaded. Tune in next week when we tackle The Chaperone. The Chaperone. With WWE Superstar, Triple H. So as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what WWE movies you want us to check out or what you think we can do better in our reviews, what you think we should maybe say or do differently. That's it. And as always, I'm Cole. And we'll see you next time. Later.
Bye.